1900s when I was a child. I was a little older than you guys. I was probably about 15 or 16. Anybody 15 or 16 over here? No? Oh, you are? All right, awesome. I think we have a few out here maybe. But I was blessed to have a dad and a mom who taught marine biology. You guys know what that is? That's the study of marine animals. Fish? You guys like fish? What's your favorite fish? Swordfish? What? Salmon? That's to eat. I'm talking about like pretty fish. What? Beta. Yeah. Okay, so when you study marine life, the best way to study them is to scuba dive. You guys know what that is? That's where you're swimming, but you're swimming underwater for a length of time. Well, I learned how to do that when I was probably about 14 years old, and I loved it. And so every time we went over to the islands, we would swim with the fish, we would be down there for 30 minutes, 40 minutes, and it was awesome. But when you learn how to scuba dive, you're underwater, right, for 30 minutes. You need a buddy. They tell you have to have a buddy. Who wants to be my buddy today? Anybody want to be a buddy? All right, how about this? You guys can all be my buddy. Now, when you're a buddy to somebody when you're scuba diving, you have to communicate with each other. Can anybody talk underwater? You can? That's awesome. You can? That's amazing. Well, if you know sign language, that's a good way to do it, but you can't use your voice, right? Because the water gets in the way. Plus, when you are scuba diving, you have one of these things on you. It's on your back, right? Kind of like that. And you have a mouthpiece, and you're breathing out of that. Right? So you're breathing, and so your mouth is full of a mouthpiece, you're underwater, you can't really talk to each other. So I want to teach you guys a couple sign languages that you use during diving, okay? First one is this. Can everybody do it? That means go to the top, go to the surface. That doesn't mean okay. So if you're down there with a buddy and you go like this, guess what? That means get up, get up, get up, right? So that's if you're in trouble. So we don't want to use that one very much. This one means what? Okay, doing great, right? So those are the two. What does this mean?
Up.
Oh, up. What does this mean?
Okay.
All right, so we went out in a boat and we stopped near a reef. Okay, and I want you guys to imagine all of these pews right here is one section of reef, and all these pews over here are another section of reef, okay? And right in the middle, there's no reef. You see that? And you see all these people out here? Those are fish. Some of them are big, some of them are small, but they're all made in God's image. Isn't that awesome? So, we went diving, we were diving along the reef, so we were actually swimming, but they told you, because there's this channel, they said, be careful, because the way the water works, the reef is shallow, and there's this opening in there. If you get too close to the opening, the tide may take you out into the ocean. So just don't go too far towards the channel. Stay by the reef. So guess what I did? Well, I started swimming with my buddy, and we started looking for fish. We started looking for fish, and we were swimming around. Anybody see any fish? Anybody see any fish? Where? Oh, right there. So guess what I did? I started swimming towards it, and it's a rockfish, I thought. But then my dad, who's a what? Marine biologist, he said, not a rockfish, it's a stonefish. Not rocks and stones were the same thing. But, man, so I was swimming towards it. Oh, and then it went away. Where did you see me? Where am I at? I'm a little bit in the channel. What did they say about the channel? Don't go near the channel. But I was like, all right, well, the rockfish disappeared. I didn't know where it went. And I started looking for more fish. There are more fish. What is that? It's a moray eel. You know how rare those are? So what am I going to do? Am I going to listen to what my instructor said, or am I going to go look at the eel? Well, of course I'm going to look at the eel. What should I have done? Listen to my instructor. So I went, swam towards the eel because I wasn't listening to wise instruction. I was listening to my own little brain because I wanted it. I wanted to see it. And then I got close to it, and guess what happened? No, it didn't bite me. It disappeared. And then I realized as I started trying to swim back that I wasn't getting anywhere. That I was getting further and further away from the reef. Actually, I was going through the reef, through the channel. And you know what I noticed? I realized it didn't matter how hard I swam, I wasn't making any progress. And the one thing about being swept out to the ocean is you're not sure if anybody's gonna see you, right? My buddy and I were together. And so guess what? Did we go like this? No, because not everything was okay, huh? We knew that we were in trouble. So what did we do?
Up.
That's right. So we went up to the surface, we took off our masks, took off our mouthpiece, and we started floating. And we realized the boat that we had come from was a long ways away, and we were going all the way through the channel. All the way through the channel. And there were some cool fishes along the way. But do you think we saw them? Because we hadn't listened. So we were all the way out in the channel. And what happens when you get swept out into the channel? The water comes back, but it comes back over the reef. And so we were praying. Because either we're going to get swept out to the ocean and nobody's going to ever know where we are at. Because nobody saw us, by the way. It was just the two of us. Everybody else was listening to the instructions. Just the two of us. And we were way out in the ocean. It's either that or we were going to get swept back over the coral and maybe get all cut up. And so we just started praying. We just started praying that God would protect us. And you know what? It's amazing. Sometimes, he could have probably just dropped a little, I don't know, a little jet there thing that we could just go in there, right? God could have done that. You think he could do that? Or he could have picked us up and dropped us on the boat. You think he could have done that if he helped people walk on water, right? But sometimes when we pray, he doesn't give us exactly what we want, but he always gives us what we need. And in that moment, he gave me peace, and he gave me confidence to say, we're going to be okay. So what did we do? We just turned on our back, and we let the tide take us over the coral reef, and we let our tanks take the brunt of the reef. And so we got swept over, bang, 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 all over the reef. Faye finally came back to this side. Do you think I went back and came back over to the channel again? No, I learned my lesson. And there's a couple things to take away from this, guys. Number one, your parents always want the best for you. Sometimes they know something could happen that you may not understand. So what should we do? Should we listen to what our little brains are telling us, or should we listen to what mommy and daddy are instructing us with? Very important. And then number two, trusting that God is in control and that he's going to answer our prayers, even if in the moment we don't feel like it's happening. And there's a great verse that my mom, Ms. Laura, shared with me, and this is a great analogy for this. It says, it's from Hebrews 12:2. Keep your eyes on Jesus, our leader and instructor. He was willing to die a shameful death on the cross because of the joy he knew would be his afterwards. And now he sits on the place of honor by the throne of God. So boys and girls, I hope you can learn a lesson about listening to your mommy and daddy. and always praying and knowing that God is going to answer your prayers in His time. Have a happy Sabbath. Go back to your seats.
Amen. Amen. Amen.